Well, hello. Long time no chat. Are we just jumping from stream to stream tonight? To see what's happening. Fair, it should be a pretty chill one. I think I have ideas for what to ink some of these already, so it's a first. I actually have ideas for what to ink things. But I got the rainbow ones done. Look, the rainbow ones. There we go. I probably should turn on the overhead light in here so we have more light, but also it gives me a headache. Maybe we should do a stream at some point that's like what we just came from, where we all hop in Discord and just chat. Because it is kind of why I've been streaming. Because it's fun to chat with people. Let's see how this white looks. I think this is just like a pearlescent white. I think it'll look good with the rainbow ones. I wonder if my camera would look better if it was closer. Oh! I'm like, to be fair, I was having audio issues, like, right before I was trying to figure out my microphone. Actually, it might help if my microphone was actually pointed towards me, too. Yeah, I was literally just trying to, I was like, hopefully people can hear me. Are my sound levels okay? Because it was giving me issues right before this. Oh, I hear a neighbor. The world's fastest sunrise bottle in your documents. Is that what it's named? Is that what it's named in your files? You're having serotonin. It turned out so pretty. I was just saying though that maybe I should stream at some point where we all hop in Discord and chat, because that's kind of fun. I'm just inking dice. So I think that pearlescent one will look nice. If it'll make it so you can see. Come on. Maybe. It never wants to find it. There we go. There we go. People are gonna, like, hop into the chat and be so confused. Actually, no, they probably won't be. I feel like, so, before I started streaming, one of the, I had someone suggest to me that I should stream on Twitch, because there was, a large arts and crafts type group on here. And so one of the first things I did was I went on Twitch, because I already had, like, a Twitch account and everything, and just went, like, perusing through the makers and crafting tag just to see what was going on, and I ended up in like a stream that had like 5 people in it, and they were like all related. There's like 5 people watching, and at least like 2 of them were siblings of the person that was streaming. I was just like, well, that's fine, I'll just hang out and chat with these people. You guys are ridiculous. Ridiculous. Seems like you've been drawing a lot of today, Jen. Since I saw that you were, well, I guess you took a nap in the middle, but I saw that you were doing stuff at around noon. I thought of hopping on around noon, but I was kind of running around doing different stuff. And then I was sanding things, actually, but also, like, oh, it's torn through my city since the last time we've talked. It's been a struggle just to find food every day. But I'll be. You have a commission queue, yeah. You're getting all popular. Here's a D6. Wait. Colors aren't quite accurate, but I'm liking it with the pearl. Let's go with the pearl. Now to do the rest of the dice. That's the thing with inking. It just takes a long while. I feel like there's quite a few steps in the dice making process that aren't like necessarily difficult to do. They just take a lot of time. I mean, I guess sanding, like, it takes a little bit of practice to know how to do it to a certain extent. How to get everything even and all that, but, you know, now it's just like, I gotta go sand things. It's just gonna take me a couple hours. Oh, thanks. I thought it would stand out against the colors and then kind of match the white that's in the bottom. I was gonna say though, I thought about hopping on around noon, except that I was running around and working on different things. And then I'll be honest, there's a series I've been watching on YouTube that got updated today, and so I went and watched that instead. Well, I'm glad I could hop into your little stream. Come see everything being made. Man. It's so, I don't know how many... Oh, what series have you been watching on YouTube? Oh, you do it to be productive. That's fair. I do use streaming as an excuse for that as well. Like, that's kind of like the two reasons that I stream, really, is like, one, it's fun just like chatting with people and hanging out. And then two, it gives me an excuse to work on things. Do I know? Oh, are you still watching 8 out of 10 Cats? I'm like, do I know? What series has he been watching? I should get back into British panel shows. I always enjoy them. That's fair. To be fair, I feel like British panel shows are they're just nice. They're just fun to watch. And they're pretty, like, chill. Like, you don't have to worry about, like, your favorite character dying off or anything. So, yeah, and it's just, like, I don't know. I like British. It's been a while. I got super into them when I was at university. Like, part of that was just because I was stressed as all else, and I was just like, I'm going to watch British panel shows. Because they are just, like, super, super chill to watch. No, the one that I've gotten into recently is... still watching Minecraft stuff. I mentioned it in the Discord earlier. But... it's, kind of... the one I'm watching at the moment is, everyone's kind of in, like, a small world, and then they're just trying to survive. They have a certain number of lives. But it's been fun to watch because there's been, like, factions and stuff people have been making, and all sorts of stuff like that. It's like, oh, drama. It's a small world. And I'm not going to do any more than that because I don't want Disney to sue me. That's as much of that song as you're getting. But don't worry, everyone else will have it stuck in their heads for the rest of tonight, so, you know, it's a win-win. This one needs a little bit more paint in that number on the side. You might have to get yourself some Martinelli apple juice. You might have to get yourself some. That stuff is good. You keep looking at your apple juice and wishing you had a Martinelli apple juice. I just got more ginger beer today. But I already drank one, because I got more today. Ooh, went like out of focus there for a second. There's like some bubbles. I don't want the bubbles. Ginger beer is good. I like ginger beer. I feel like it's one of the few sodas or carbonated things that doesn't give me an upset stomach, too. Like, I really like the Martinelli's apple cider. Martinelli's apple cider? I don't know what it's called, but that stuff gives me a stomach ache, unfortunately. Makes me sad. But, I don't know. I feel like the ginger beer doesn't do that to me. Maybe it's because it's the ginger, and ginger is supposed to help settle your stomach. It just cancels out. Well, that's how I found out I like ginger beer, was because of Moscow Mules. But, I mean, I don't know, it's like, I don't know, I feel like the vodka doesn't add anything to it. Maybe the lime does. Maybe I should add a little bit of lime. It's just like, I'd rather just have the ginger beer. There we go. Just make it a little bit hard to see on this side. Here, I'll show you. The lime really pulls it together. I should put some lime. Yeah, see, the one is hard to read, which is kind of unfortunate. I did actually fill that in, but the white against the white's kind of hard to read. But that is part of the reason that I was doing the white, because I figured it'd be easier to read on the higher numbers. I could ink it in blue, but I do like the white. And, like, the only thing that's not going to be legible is the one. See, I like the white, though. I think part of the reason I like the white is because it's neutral. And I know the blue would be kind of like sky and stuff. But it's the first color you see past the white. No, it's actually kind of purple back there. My camera makes everything look blue, but it's actually purple. The contrast. That's true. Yeah, usually I try to go pretty contrasty with the numbers so that they're legible, but I'm going for the aesthetic with the white this time. And I think it would bother me if just the one was a different color. That would just mess with my brain. Don't know why necessarily. I actually did a commission set. I just finished those recently that had the highest numbers and the lowest numbers in a different color from the rest. And it actually looked really good. And I was kind of worried because on most of so it's kind of weird. Like, you know, most of the dice, you have the 1 on this side and the 20s on the other side. You have the 1 on this side and the 6s on the other side. And all of these are like that, except for the D8 for some reason. For some reason, the 8 is there. It's not going to find it, is it? There's the 8. There's the 1. For some reason on the D8, it has like the 7 across from the 8 and the 1 across from the 2. And I don't know why, but it meant that, you know, on all of these you had the same color here, and then everything else the different for all of them. And then on the D8, they were right next to each other. I know, it is weird. The only other one was really kind of, you know, odd like that was the D4. The D4 also, you know, just to be fair, it was one of the pyramid D4s, you know, just the nature of that, you're not going to have things across from each other. But I don't know why the D8's like that. It's just strange. I would have thought that it would follow the same convention as all of the other ones. You know what? Let me check something. I'm gonna go grab my my dice. Not the ones that I made, but the other ones. Because now I'm curious if it's just mine. Because I kind of thought it was maybe most dice. Let's just grab a random... Oh, maybe it is mine. Huh. Yeah, because this random Chessex does have it like that. Yeah. So this Chessex does have it like that. Does have them across from each other. I think it might be where I got my masters from. I thought maybe that was oh no, this this metal set that I have has it the same way. There's the 8 and there's the 1. Doesn't want to look at it, but see this metal set that I have has it like that. That's so strange. I don't know, my crafting dice. I don't know. I think I would have preferred it if they were opposite each other. But let you check your dice now. I had thought that was just how dice were laid out. I think it must be the masters that I got. Someday I will have to print my own masters, and I will put them across from each other. Because I think I prefer it with the numbers across from each other, just for consistency. Some sort of dark spot in here, but we're just gonna cover that up. Yeah, I probably should have made dice tonight. But I do have quite a few sets that still need sanded and stuff, so I don't feel too bad about it. I did get more things sanded today, which is good, because I was very close to needing more stuff. You think you'll work on the lily pad potion on purpose? I'm excited for that. Test your metal. I'm excited for that, to see how it goes. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I wonder if it's just like a preference thing. It's probably just a preference thing. Alright, I think this is, the 20 is all inked, except that it needs a little bit more on this side. That's the thing with inking. Sometimes, as it dries, it kind of shrinks a little bit, and you end up with just like little pockets where it needs a little bit more. Okay. What was I talking about? Oh, I probably should have made dice tonight. Did I make dice on Monday? Pretty sure I made dice on Monday. I'm gonna look at my calendar. Yeah, I guess I made dice on Monday, so it's okay. I have a couple things that I need to make for a commission. So I think on Saturday we will we'll probably pour a couple of dice because I have a couple of ones that I want to get done for a commission, and then I think we'll try make foam grips too and see how that goes. I'm still trying to figure out, like, the only thing that I'm worried about with the foam grips is I worry that the resin that I'm using is not heat resistant enough for them, but I guess that shouldn't really be an issue. Like, it's heat resistant enough for jewelry and dice, so it shouldn't be a problem. I'm actually doing a test right now to see, okay, I just did this really thin sort of coaster of a different kind of resin to see if it's a little bit more heat resistant, but I kind of think maybe it's not. So it seems to be denting kind of the same way that my other resin dented. Let's see if I can get it so you can see. You can see that little kind of rough spot right there towards the edge. And that's because I put a hot mug on it. This seems like it. Yeah, this almost seems worse. I was trying to figure something out for coasters. Because the only reason that I haven't made coasters is because my resin, if you put like a hot mug on it, kind of dents it a little bit. And I'm like, that's not what I want if I'm going to do coasters. Although, I mean, I guess I could say that they're for cool drinks, but... Yes. What are your findings? Okay, you have both in your dice sets. Yeah, that's kind of what I found too. I had like a couple maybe that had the 1 next to the 8, but most of them had the 1 across from the 8. Like I said, I think I would prefer to have the 1 across from the 8, but yeah, next to and on opposite sides. Next time I at some point I want to figure out how to print my own masters and stuff, so at that point I will put them across from each other. But for the time being, ooh, maybe that's something we should stream at some point, is messing around in Blender and trying to figure out some sort of thing to print on the 3D printer. The ones that are next to are all from the same maker. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, mine are too. I know you have one for me. But yeah, I wonder, are they mass produced or are they handmade? Because I wonder if they're handmade, I wonder if they got their masters from the same place I did. But to be fair, I guess those metal ones also had it next to. I don't know. I don't know what the disparity, like what the cause is of that disparity. I don't know. It makes the most sense to me for them to be on opposite sides, but just because I think it looks better if you have. Oh, both. Okay. I feel like it looks better if the highest number is on the opposite side from the lowest number, because then it almost gives you more opportunity to put things right side up if you get the high number and put them upside down if you get the low number. I feel like it's a good visual indicator. Like for things like this, you know, I like that all of the high numbers are on the red and all of the low numbers are on the white sort of thing. But I don't know. It's just strange. But it doesn't really affect much, I guess, in the long run. It's just a personal preference thing. All right. Let's see. What have I been up to? I mostly just sanded things today. I was starting to do try and draw things, but just in my sketchbook over here. But the thing is, I can't draw people. I'm trying to draw someone with a crown on. And it's going okay. I don't know. People are difficult. I think so. I don't know. I'm better with inanimate objects than drawing people, and part of that is just because it's not as like the ones that are next to are all from a British company. Interesting. That's interesting. People, it's super noticeable if you don't get things perfectly proportionate. You know, sometimes like objects, it's as someone who can draw people hard. But no, it just comes down to you have to have a lot of accuracy when you're drawing people, because if things aren't perfectly proportionate, it's noticeable. Like if you don't have the proportions right and you don't have things even, like at least as pretty symmetrical, it looks wrong. Whereas like if I draw a bottle and it's not perfectly even, it's not as noticeable. People don't. Oh, I should probably silence my phone so that it doesn't buzz while I'm streaming. My phone buzzed. Who's texting me? Okay, come on. If my phone wants to work. It's been so slow. Okay, there we go. Now it's off. Tea. Totally not whiskey. And it is, I just want to point out that it isn't whiskey. That's just something that Not Name Brand likes to say it is. Your NA? What do you mean by NA? Non-applicable? Massachusetts. Wow. I'm just gonna... Oh, that's a new state that I just invented. Massachusetts. I don't know why my... North America. That makes sense. I don't know why my brain supplied me with Massachusetts. That's a place. The whiskey is getting to me, yeah. It's tea. Just want to put that out there. It's tea. I don't know what Twitch's terms of service are about alcohol. It is actually tea. I think I mentioned this last time, but I really should figure out what all is on Twitch's terms of service. I feel like that would be smart for me to do. But that requires reading. They don't allow alcohol. Yeah, see, that doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me. You should probably stop making that joke. It is actually black tea. I mean, I drink a lot of black tea, though. Yeah, there we go. There's a couple of spots on these where the colors kind of bled a little bit. I'll show you my flaws. See, I got a spot of the blue up in there. But for the most part, I'm really happy with these. These ones took me so long to make. Just because, you know, it took 7 different pours. I did this in 7 different sittings, so it took at least 7 days. It took more than that, but it took at least 7 days to make. I have kind of an order that I always paint these in, I've noticed. I usually start with like the 6, and then from there I do, this is the order I do it in, D6, D20, the D10 with the double numbers, and then the D12, and then the other D10, and then D8 and well, actually the D4 sometimes gets thrown in there randomly. Depends on the kind of D4. If it's a triangle D4, sometimes it gets thrown in before the D12. And like for some reason my brain tells me Well, percentile die. To be fair, I always label it as D00 for my stuff, just so that I can differentiate. I could just probably call it a percentile die, but in my brain it's a D00. Yeah, so if it's a triangle D4 instead of the crystal D4, sometimes that gets thrown in for the D12. And it's my brain being like, we're going to do this. This D6 is like the easiest one to do. And then from there I go from like hardest to like, or the ones that will take me the longest to the ones that will take me the least amount of time. Because the D20 has so many numbers to it. And that's I kind of work my way down from there. And like the D, I don't know what's that. The D4, you know, doesn't have as many numbers, but it does have like 3. So it actually, no, the D4 has 12 numbers on it because it has 3 of each number when it's the triangle one, not when it's the crystal one like this. So I guess it does have like 12 single digit numbers on it, which may be a little bit less than the D12. It'll be good to have some of these done. It's, oh man, I need to figure out like where my bottlenecks are when it comes to dice. Like one of them was the polishing. One of them was things were getting backed up because I didn't have enough room in my tumbler. So I got a second one of those. And I'm not quite sure where my next bottleneck is. It might be how fast I'm actually sanding things now. Although that one's actually pretty close with how fast things can polish. But I think, I want to have like at least 15 sets, like pre-made sets every shop update. That's kind of my goal. I'd like it to be like 20, but 15 is doable. But it's, I don't know, it always sneaks up on me. It's the 19th already. When am I updating the shop? I do it the first Friday of every month. So it's whatever the first Friday in June is. I have to look that up. But it always sneaks up on me. So I have 3 sets here. And then these ones are D6s and fate dice, but I'm saying 15 of like the 7-piece sets too, just to put that out there. Plus 1 or 2 D6 sets or fate dice sets or those sort of things. Maybe I should do more of the fate dice. I feel like the people are actually interested in those, so might be smart to do more of those. But I need to figure out where I'm slowest. Not even slowest necessarily, but what I can do to create more, like have a greater output. I wonder what other people do. Like I wonder like how many sets most people that are making and selling dice actually get done in a month. Like I'm curious about that. And like, yeah, it's one of those things. That's part of the reason that I have a message group with just a couple of other people that make dice. There's a whole 3 of us in the group, so that we can be like, hey, how long does it take you to do this? Like, is it reasonable the amount of time that I'm spending on this? Or, hey, what material do you use for this? Or that sort of stuff. But I guess I could ask them, but I feel like I asked them once and they weren't sure. But I'm curious. I wonder if I could look that up somehow. Go look up some other dice makers and try and figure out. But I guess I don't know when people post things. Yeah. I don't know. Alright. Here's the D12. Let me not knock my thing over here. Excuse me while I pull up a calculator. I'm going to do a quick calculation here. I'm wondering how many hours, if I have 20, well, I guess why am I even doing that? Why am I even pulling up a calculator? I don't need a calculator to multiply 20 times 3. Why am I playing? I'm a math major. To be fair, I still use a calculator for everything. I can never do times tables. Like, never. Yes, 15. Thanks, Nate. Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds right. 20 times 3 is 15. That sounds about right. I was trying to figure out, like, how many active hours. I guess maybe 15 times 3 would be better. But, yeah, probably 15 times 3, so 45. 45 instead of 60. But, times tables are the easiest thing. Nope, they are not. I never passed them. Passed them once. Yeah, I said that's 45. 15 times 3 is 45. And 20 times 3 is 60. See, what you've got to realize here, and it's something that looking back makes a lot of sense to me. Timetables are all about memorization. Memorization. And I got ADHD, bitch. Like, it's like looking back on it, it's like, okay, it makes perfect sense why I never could do times tables. Because it's literally all memorization. Math, I can do, like figuring out how to structure equations and get an answer from something else. I can do that. I did have to remember how to do trigonometry yesterday to try and figure out some dice dimensions, and that was me going, oh gosh, how does cosine work again? I had to, like, Google. I'm like, what is cosine 60 degrees? It's 0.5, by the way, if anyone's curious. But, how does that work? I guess part of it, though, is, like, I know enough math to know what I need to Google. I feel like that's part of it, too. Casey was always able to remember them. I do mental math by splitting into groups of 10, calculating and calculating the remainder, then adding together. Nope, that's kind of how I do it, too. Or that's kind of how I add things together, too, is I'll split things up into parts. Yeah, the memorizing thing, yeah. I guess, to be fair, that kind of makes sense also with what I was saying about how I can find the right equations to do things, but I can't memorize things. Because, like, even if it's just adding, like, I don't know, 42 plus 26, you know, or actually, no, let's say 48 plus 26. You know, I would say that's 6 plus 4 plus 4 in my head. So you'd have that's how I would get to 14. If I was adding 6 and 8, either I would say, okay, thank you, Omar. I'm just saying, like, how I would get to that number. Either if I was adding 6 and 8 together, either I would say 6 plus 4 plus 4, or I would say 7 plus 7, or 7 plus 1 plus 6 type thing. I wouldn't just go 6 plus 8 equals 14. I have to do that middle step there. Just for addition. I got decent at learning how things worked and then deriving the equations I couldn't remember on tests. Yeah, see, that's how my brain works. It's like I gotta get this into groups of 10, or either that or 7 plus 7. I know that's 14 with the double. But just 6 plus 8, no. I gotta translate that either into 7 plus 7 or 10 plus 4. And that's you know, that's just addition right there. You know, multiplication gets even more. It's the same way with multiplication, really. Like, oops. Because if you have something that's like something, let's say 6 times 4, like 6 times 4 in my brain, that's 6 times 2 times 2. So, you know, that's 24. But the way that I get to 24 is I go 6 times 2 is 12 times 2 is 24. I don't just remember that 6 times 4 is 24. It's not how my brain works. But that's also, that right there is why I passed my multiplication tables once. It was the last one that I ever had to do in 6th grade. It's the only time I ever passed my multiplication tables. To be fair, I feel like, I don't know if I feel like I've gotten stupider with time, but there's just like, it still just takes me forever to try and like put things, I mean, I guess maybe it's ADHD again. It takes me forever to try and put things into a meaningful order, which means that even math and stuff, like, I need to like sit down and write out all of the equations and then go from like piece things together from there. I can't just do things in my head. I need things in little pieces, and then I need to have some sort of like physical way to put those pieces in order. That's really what it is, I think. I can't put all the little pieces together in my brain. I guess I can do multiplication like that. I'm gonna read that. Let me pop this bubble in there. I do addition subtraction sometimes by saying 145 minus 50 is 150 minus 50 plus 5. But sometimes I go the wrong way, which led to me confidently calling out an obviously totally inaccurate number in class, my professor just staring at me. Do I have good spatial reasoning skills? I don't know. I feel like maybe I do, but I don't know necessarily what all you mean by that. Like, can I estimate whether something will fit in a container or not type thing? Or figuring out, unfolding a cube in my brain? Or I feel like it's not that I've gotten stupider necessarily, it's just that like it takes me longer to figure things out. And it's quite possible that it doesn't. I'm just more aware of it now. But it's one of those things where it's like I can't just do things. I have to actively think about them, and that takes a lot of brain power. I don't know if other people are like that too. Like, things don't just make sense to me. Usually, I have to like, I think that's what it is. Things don't just make sense, and that actually that is why I feel stupider, I think, because like when I was a kid, like I just got things just made sense, and now I need to like take the time to like sit down and parse things out. There's the D8, just the D4 left, but I don't know if that's like just some like brain fog type stuff or what. Just me getting old and my memory failing. I'm just old. It does still get me that I'm closer to 30 than I am to 20. That's just weird. Like, it is weird, and then also it isn't, because, like, you know, I have friends in their 30s. I mean, I did also tend to make a lot of stupid mistakes on things, too, but even as a kid. I definitely feel dumber as I get older. I've been doing embedded programming at work and keep messing up the dumbest things, and nothing is working. Yep. Yeah. I've always done that though. Like now that I'm thinking about it, like I always did things too quick and made really stupid mistakes, like on math tests and stuff when I was a kid. I would, drop a minus and get the complete wrong answer because I just forgot to put the negative sign in there. Or, stuff like that. I think my problem is slowing down. My problem is just slowing down and actually taking the time to think things through. There we go. Rainbow dice are all done. This is unrelated to that, but it's related to dice. I think I mentioned this before. Actually, that needs a little bit more. Just a moment. Maybe. Come on. Oh, there we go. It's just got a little spot here on the D20. Could use a little bit more. Right in the corner there. All right. So it tells me how long I've been streaming. And there was a while ago that I went and timed how long each step in my dice making process took. And that's how I got to, it takes about 3 hours minimum. But one of the kind of weird and funny things was that a lot of the steps in the process took almost exactly 40 minutes. Because I measured how long it took me to make a set, galaxy dice. I sat down and made 3 sets of galaxy dice. Because, I usually do dice in groups of 3 when I make them. Come on, get in there. Oh, well, that's fine. And so I went and made 3 sets altogether, and then I divided that. Dice are base 40. I mean, yeah, maybe. Bless you, kitty cat. The kitty cat was sneezing over here. And so anyways, I did 3 sets of dice and then divided by the total time by 3, and I was like, okay, so that's about how much it takes for a set of dice. And it took about 40 minutes per set of dice. I think we're gonna do silver for these because these got a little bit of silver in them. Yeah, I think that'll be good. And can't take 2. Wait. You can't take 6 from 2. 2 is 4. You can't take 4 from 2. 2 is less than 4. So you look at the 4 in the tens place. Now that's really 4 tens. You make it 3 tens, regroup, and I can't remember the whole thing. New math. See, I can sing his stuff because I think he made it public domain. Pretty sure he made all of his stuff public domain. I'm not worried about Tom Lear coming after me. Oh, but one of the things that I timed was how long it takes me to ink a set of dice, so how long it takes to fill in the numbers. Yeah, and how long it takes me to fill in the numbers, and that also takes almost exactly 40 minutes. At least for the one set that I tested. I guess I could do more and actually be scientific about it and have multiple trials, but considering I'm not that concerned with complete accuracy, because I know that it's not completely accurate. Yeah, it was just kind of weird. Sanding a set took almost exactly 40 minutes, inking a set took almost exactly 40 minutes, and pouring a set took almost exactly 40 minutes. Which, now that I'm thinking about it, seems odd, because I feel like sanding always feels like it takes a lot longer than inking. But maybe that's just because it's almost more boring. Because it really, both of them are kind of the same thing over and over again, but at least, I get different fun colors to mess around with when I'm painting, when I'm inking them. I don't know, is that too much silver? I have the silver foil in there and then the silver numbers. I think it's still legible, that's the important part. As long as it's still legible. I almost tried to like dip my paintbrush in this empty jar here to get more paint. I don't think it would have worked out so well. It wouldn't really have helped. Oh my goodness, wait. Tom Lear did make his stuff like public domain, right? Does that mean that I could use Tom Lear as my background track for streaming? Wait a minute. I need to look up stuff on this. That would be... lots of people would find that very weird. Because his song is all musical satire and it's very weird. But I'm suddenly liking the idea of Poisoning Pigeons in the Park just being background music to my streams now. Yeah, okay, I thought he had. To be fair, I don't know if that means that you can like cover his songs or if it means that I could use them like on a stream. I don't know. There's like different kinds of licensing and stuff, so I don't know what all of it is. I mean, judging by the song, like Tom Lear and stuff, like I don't think he would get mad at me for using it on a stream, but I don't know. He invented Jello shots, so I feel like he's probably pretty chill. At least he says that he's said to have invented Jello shots. If anyone is curious about, yeah, that's true. See, I don't know the rules. I'm so cautious when it comes to like copyright stuff. I'm like, I don't know, is this okay? Oh, you've seen that before too. I'm pretty sure it's on Wikipedia. I looked him up on Wikipedia at one point. I can't remember why. But if you ever want an interesting read, you should go look up Tom Lear on Wikipedia. No, maybe, yeah, sorry. I'm now thinking of what my Tom Lear playlist is going to include for streams. And I think Poisoning Pigeons in the Park and the Masochism Tango are going to be in there for sure. Yeah, those are classics. Those are classics. Maybe the Elements song, just for fun. Maybe if I listen to it enough times, I'll actually know all the words. I only know like the first quarter of the Elements song. The nuclear, we will all go together when we go, that one. And we will all go together when we go. I think he was a nuclear scientist or something. So that really would not surprise me. I mean, I know that he has that. I think he was a nuclear scientist, though. I think he worked at one of the sites. I don't know which one. I think in, like, Nevada, maybe? Me. Okay, so less detail on the bottle. Me. Accidentally. Ah, jeez. How's it going, Jen? I have... Who's next? Oh, yeah, okay. Forgot about that one. You are clowning. I was amused by National Brotherhood Week, too. That one amused me. Bonk. Oh, hi, Scryer. We're having a chill stream tonight and just inking some stuff. I'm doing these at the moment that are blue and have some silver foil in them, and then I'm inking them in silver. But we just did the rainbows. I'm gonna show off the rainbows again because I'm still really happy with these dice. Just did the rainbows. If it'll focus. Never wants to focus. Come on. Focus. Focus. Why does it... It never... It hates focusing. You're right. It was doing it earlier. To be fair, my lighting in here is not great at the moment, so we could maybe blame that a little bit too. You get the idea. You get the idea. That's fine. That's fine. He doesn't want to work with me. That's fine. Anyways, what are you up to, Scryer? I was here. Wait, I can ask you because I was just talking about how you're gonna post work in progress. You need me to chastise you for details? For putting too many details, or Americanizing a book? Oof, that sounds like that might be difficult. What are you Americanizing it from? No, I have the swirly rainbow one, Nate. It's in the basement. No, that's all. That's just artwork and stuff that I've done off on the side. I like that the other bottle's still in the background. Oh, maybe frog? Maybe frog? Scryer is an editor, so I would assume taking a book and making it so that the vernacular and stuff is more American. I'm curious from where to America, though. Is it all like British slang or something? I'm really liking it, Jen. I think it looks really pretty so far. British English? Oh, okay. So there are a lot of spanners and... But frog... You don't have to do the frog. If the frog is going to be a pain for you. For reference for other folks that don't know, I have hired Jen to design some stickers to send with orders for my shop. So we're doing fun potion bottles. Yeah, I have already Kermited. To be fair, that'll look really cool with frog in there, but it's looking really cool. Does British English not use Oxford commas? That seems so strange that it wouldn't use Oxford commas. Also, I like Oxford commas. Switching some... Oh, weird. They're so useful, though. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's not always necessary, but when it is necessary, it's necessary. Like, yeah. Oh, what was... There was like a good example I saw at one point. It was like, oh yeah, they do write their dates in different order. I didn't even think... Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff there. Like, I thought about some of the vocabulary differences, like, you know, spanner versus wrench and that sort of stuff. But I didn't even think about the fact that, like, the dates are different and maybe the actual grammatical stuff is different. I guess some of the spelling is different, too. Like, color with a U or without a U. But... Man. That sounds like it's a bit of work. I was going to ask, though, I feel like I've maybe asked this before, I don't remember, about how many sets of dice do you think you make a month? Like, get done. I'm just curious. That's towards Scryer, by the way. Although it sounds like she's working. Because I was saying that I'm trying to figure out where, like, my bottlenecks are and stuff. The thing with like Control F is that sometimes you change things that you don't mean to, and then it just causes other problems. But here's Nate coming in with his machine learning uh, enthusiasm, which is amusing. But no, I was trying to. I was. Oh yeah. Actual machine learning as opposed to search and replace. Yeah. I think maybe you found your new project, Nate, is to teach a computer to change things. You can get a ton done. You just finished inking 7 sets and have 4 more ready to ink. Oh, nice. Nice. I'm curious on like a monthly basis though, or even like a weekly basis. Like, because I don't know how often you have that many done. Nate is really interested in like machine learning stuff, so it would not surprise me if his new project was to try and teach a computer to recognize British English. You just volunteered to create a data analysis framework for the physicists so they can stop manually editing Excel files for their entire career. Huh. How, like, what would they do instead of editing Excel? Like, what else? What's going into these Excel files if they don't have to put information in there? There's a lot of work in natural language processing right now, and I wonder if it could be interlanguage. That could be interesting. Stuff in figuring out how language is formatted and stuff, but use that then to either to relate it to another language. That'd be pretty cool. I can see how that'd be really useful actually. Even if it is just, British English versus American English, but for like language translating and stuff, could be interesting. 14 sets a month. It's hard to gauge. Oh, that's fair. That's I forgot about your move. When do you move? I thought it was sometime fairly soon. But that is a fair point. And I think I'm probably around there as well at the moment. Probably about 14, 15 sets. I'm trying to figure out how to make that maybe a little bit more so I can make a living. But trying to figure out how to make a living. A lot of it is just that things take time that's outside of... I guess, to be fair... Ooh, it's coming up soon. Not super soon. You got like a month, but it's coming up soon. That's very exciting. Let's see, what did Nate say? I'd write Python libraries that have what we need for parsing files, common math functions we use, and graphing and some other stuff. Currently, it's very involved in manual. You don't have a full solution in mind yet, that's fair. Oh, you're doing a ton of pouring because you don't want to move open resin. That makes sense. Yeah. It'd be easier to move the dice than it would be to move the sticky bottles of resin. No, there's a certain amount of making these that is... The time is outside of my control, too. Because, it takes a while for things to, like, polish. I think I've started leaving things in the tumbler a little bit longer than I used to just to get things even shinier. And so that slowed me down a little bit. Like, there's things in there right now that I could probably pull out. Like, they're probably polished enough, but it's like, I see a little scratch there, so we're gonna let that run a little bit longer. It's like, I probably could pull it out now. It's not noticeable. Nate just got an apartment recently. There's something nice about having your own place, I think. So, that's still exciting. The frog has been banished. That's fair. That's fair. No more frog. I really like the flower stopper on that though. I think that's really cool. Oh, you left a bunch of dice in the tumbler today for that reason? Yeah. But so it ends up taking quite a few days, I feel like, for things to actually get done in the tumbler. Which, so then it's just like, well, gotta wait for those. Although I got a second tumbler, so that's been sped up now, which is good. Man, I kind of ended up with just a whole bunch of silver on this side. It's like the 2 is just gonna have a whole bunch of silver there now. Everything else is like pretty even, except for the 2. Oops. Oh. Yeah, I've got a couple of, what's going on here? Ah. Did I already get paint on this side? How did I do that? I've got a couple more sets over here that, like, part of them are sitting here, and then I have like a couple of dice that are either in my little tray over here that need cleaned. I debated starting off this stream with cleaning things. Because this is how I clean things right after they come out of the tumbler. Because when they come out, they've got like, let's find one that has a good example. Here, this is a good example. They've got like all sorts of, you see the kind of like that sediment in there, and that's just kind of a mixture of like resin dust from when I sanded them, and some polish, and all sorts of stuff like that. And so I take some warm soapy water and a toothbrush to these, but there wasn't really that many in here, so I decided that I'd leave that for later. But yeah, there's a couple of sets here that, like, I have part of them over here. So those are almost done. I've got like 3 sets here, and then I've got those that are almost done. Got some more in the tumbler. Yeah, to be fair, it feels like those have less than normal. I don't know why. It really varies. I don't know. Sometimes they're just like caked with polish and stuff. Maybe you use more polish than I do. Maybe I should use more polish or something. I don't know. But oh, I hear my brother talking off in the distance. I think he must be on the phone or something. But no, I debated starting off the stream with cleaning those so that we could maybe start inking some of them as well. But I think I still have things in the tumbler for those sets, for both of those sets that are there. So I decided that I'll just do that later once I have more dice to clean. That's another thing that takes a bit of time. But that only takes 20 minutes to clean a set of dice as opposed to 40 minutes like everything else takes. But yeah, yeah. I'm just trying to think of, I guess, I'm trying to think of like where my choke points are for making sets. I was gonna say maybe it's how many I can pour at a time, but really I have plenty of things that are made, so that's not too big of a deal. And to be fair, I was thinking, I can make 14 sets of dice in a month, but I can make 14 sets of pre-made dice in a month, and that's not including commissions. And I think I end up doing quite a few commissions. I should actually figure out how many commissions I usually do a month. I was kind of guessing like 5, but I don't know if that's accurate or not. I did finally update my commission listing to more accurately give people a sense of how long they take. Yours always get completely filled with stuff. Huh. I wonder why. What the difference is. I think we use the same kind of polish and everything. We use different tumblers, but I don't know. Maybe we just use a different amount and stuff. I don't know. Super weird. Coloring time! Yay, coloring! I thought you were talking about me painting for a second, but you're totally talking about the drawing that you're doing. You're just like, yeah, colors. I'm a big fan of colors and shapes. Is a cat pulling on my mouse? That happens sometimes. Nope, I'm just imagining things. Every once in a while I'll be trying to use my mouse here, and there'll be a cat that's like underneath my desk trying to like climb through the cables and pulling on my mouse. It's just like, why? Luckily that's not happening at the moment, but I thought maybe it was. Oh man. I was gonna say, I probably could have gotten more done today, but also I did get things sanded today, and that always just takes a lot of time. But that's good. I've got things. Got all of the commissions that I have made now sanded and in the tumbler, and I've got a couple more that I needed to make. I've gotten a couple of commissions recently that are just like complicated, because they're like ones where people want each die different and to have like a different item in them and stuff for like characters. It's just like, oh man, I gotta think and I gotta make things. And those are the ones where I have to I need to like sit down and like plan out all the little pieces that I need to. That's really what it is. Like, those ones just break my brain, because like I need to like sit down and write out what all of the different pieces are, and those just have a lot of pieces. And then I have to figure out the order that I need to do the pieces in, and then like put that in my calendar. I got a couple of those going on at the moment. But for the most part, I'm on top of commissions, which is good. Oh, what I was saying was I finally updated my commission listings to give maybe a more accurate sense of when things will be done. It's just like, okay, I'm giving myself 2 more weeks on this for the estimated time. Because, like, a lot of the commissions, like, they get done, maybe in a couple of weeks, just fine. But, like, these more complex ones, or if I have to do repours and stuff, they just take time, and then they get, marked as being due. I don't know. I have a bad habit of, if something is like not scaring me necessarily, but if I'm like not 100% sure on what to do, I just like freeze, and then things don't get done. Which is part of the reason that like I need to write down all of this stuff in my calendar, especially for these ones where there's a lot of little pieces. Because I very much, at the moment, I'm like, I don't know what I need to be doing. And so if I don't write it down, it won't get done. And that's not acceptable. I gotta get things done. People are waiting on things. So, it's good that I have a calendar now. was it on here that I was talking about how, when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for a living after I graduated, I made a list of things that I wanted in a job, and one of the things that I wrote down was I want someone else to make my schedule for me. Was that on here that I was talking about that? Because it's really funny looking back on it now. Because no one is making any part of my schedule for me. Unless you count people placing orders and there being a deadline on those. Like, which, those deadlines I put in at certain times. Like, there's options on Etsy for giving like an estimated turnaround time for different items. And different items I have different things listed on there. But even there, I guess I'm kind of making my own schedule to a certain extent. I'm setting my own due date. But it's just funny looking at that list, which I could pull out that list. I have it right over here. It's in this room. And seeing all the things that like I did end up getting and the things I didn't end up getting. Because there was things on there that I thought would be really important to me. And that like ended up not being as much. One of which was someone else telling me what I need to be doing when. Let me find that. I'm gonna find that. I don't know if anyone else will find that interesting, but I have it just sitting on the shelf over here. I'm gonna find that list. Oh. It was in an old bullet journal. I never actually finished this bullet journal, but when I started working for myself, I had so much stuff that I was doing and trying to keep track of, I needed a bigger one. So I got myself a slightly larger one and switched over. But let's see. Let me find that list here. It should be back here. No, not even further back. Oops, maybe not that far back. Let's see here. Got all sorts of different things. And there's multiple things on things I want in a job. Yeah, one of the first things here, scheduling structure and deadlines made by someone else. Which, nope, not what I ended up with at all. Also an idea for a D&D character. Actually a couple. Yeah. There's a few things on here. I'll actually read through this. Scheduling structure and deadlines made by someone else. Didn't end up with that at all. Working towards a tangible, physical, or visual end goal, or a series of them, which I am doing. I can tell when a set of dice is done. I can tell when something is shipped. I have a physical item that I am making, and I know when it's done. Opportunities to be creative. Yep. Social work environment. Not. Hi. Hello, ma'am. Would you like to help? Okay. Goodbye. Not really a social work environment. This kind of fills in that gap a little bit. Like I said, part of the reason that I stream is so that I can like hang out and chat with people, because working for myself isn't exactly a social work environment. I have honest company / people. I would hope so. I have social cats, yeah. Yes, the kitty cats keep me company. There's one over here. There's one over here at the moment. Hello. She's sniffing my little screen here that diffuses the light. Your dishonest company. I mean, I guess that's fair. I'll have to check that one off the list. Not sedentary. I don't want to require 8 hours of sitting or 8 hours of standing every day. That was, I had a desk job before this, and I was sitting at a desk for 8 hours a day, and it really did me in. Like, I'm still sitting a lot of the day. Like, I still end up sitting here or downstairs. But at least I, like, move between here and downstairs, and I don't feel like I'm wasting, well, I kind of do. I don't feel like I'm wasting someone else's time if I just, like, get up and go do something else for a while, go wander around the house. So, like, I'm not just sitting for 8 hours or standing for 8 hours. I'm actually, and also I'm, like, physically working on things. I'm physically painting or sanding or pouring dice or something like that. I have physically interact with objects in space. Like I said, I had a desk job and I was at a computer all day. I much prefer, like, doing something with, like, actual items. I'm a very, like, tactile person, I guess. I wanted to do something tactile. Ooh, my ear just went all weird. Sunlight. Some sort of sunlight. Didn't get any sunlight during the winter when I had an office job. And now I'm in the sunniest room in my house. It's nice. Flexible dress code and flexible hours. Which, I definitely have a flexible dress code and flexible hours now. So I got a lot of the things that were on my list. But one of the things that I had marked down as being the most important, which was someone else, like, not having to figure out what I'm doing when, that definitely didn't happen. Definitely have to figure out what I'm doing when on my own. And I think I mentioned it before, I feel like it's been good for me. Because it's kind of taught me what I need to be able to do that. I know better now how to get myself to do what I need to. I know better now how to figure out what I need to do and figure out when I need to do it and figure out how to get myself to do it. Which is something that's just, like, I've mentioned it before, that's just, like, difficult for me. Like, it's not, like, difficult, it just requires a lot of thought on my part. And, like, it takes time and energy for me to try and figure that stuff out. Don't drink the paint water. It's not for you. You wanna come sit on my lap? Come here. Wanna come sit on my lap? No? Do I have all sorts of stuff over here where you would like to lay down? I can move that. But I don't know, I'd like to be able to make this my career. Just because I enjoy it. But I think I need to figure out some sort of separate income or a way to build this more. Although, to be fair, I did do some local commercial work the other day. So I'm getting paid for that. That's nice. Like the local, I don't know if they're like, I don't know what they are exactly. They're like kind of like the city parks type things, or it's not really parks, but it I don't know what it, like, what do you call it? They're doing a lot of the, like, building community spaces sort of stuff. And there's a few different places that they've been working on. And almost a year ago, I went and helped out with some local commercials, and then also was in some photographs. I'm a model, guys. I'm a model. For, like, local, like, attractions type thing that they're working on building and all that sort of stuff. And so they're working on a different area now. Oh, there's just, like, a little spot on here. Oh, okay. They're working on a different area now, and so on Monday I went and was a model again for some more photographs. But it was very nice. I got a message from the guy that's been setting this up. Not the actual, like, photographer, he's just been kind of the in-between person, I think. But saying that the same people were wondering if I was free to do a different sort of thing for, like, the same area that's being built, to go do more photographs at a different time. Because apparently they liked working with me, or something like that. So that was very nice. But it does also mean I can get paid for more modeling gigs, I guess. That's really funny to me. It's not like traditional, like, modeling. It's literally going and sitting in a park and trying to act natural. Just like, oh yes, I am playing in the water. So, I don't know, it's just fun. I enjoy doing stuff like that. It's so funny seeing, like, behind the scenes sort of things like that. I've always enjoyed, actually, I guess as a kid I wasn't as interested, but, in, like, behind the scenes stuff, except for maybe, like, Foley work and stuff, but, like, now, I really enjoy seeing behind the curtain, sort of, for film and that sort of stuff, because I went and looked up, the stuff that I did, you know, a year ago or whatever for a different area, with them. I went and looked up, that area that they had taken the pictures for, and I found, you know, some of the photographs as, like, used for, like, marketing materials. And it's just so funny seeing these, you know, they're natural photos of people eating at the food trucks. And I know that everybody there is an actor. Like, if you were just going through that website and you see, you know, people enjoying food at the food trucks type thing, like, you wouldn't really think anything about it. You'd just be like, oh, okay, cool, they got photos of people. But, like, as someone who was there and is in some of the photographs, it's just like, oh yeah, we were all hired to be there. We were told where to sit. It's like, yep, I know exactly what's going on in these photos. It's just, I don't know, there's something kind of funny about seeing behind the scenes stuff, because I feel like, I think I've said this before, but acting in general is very embarrassing. And it's not necessarily, it's like when you stop to think about it, it is. Like, if you go and you watch a movie, if you ever actually stop to think, what are the people in this movie doing? Like, not what are their characters doing, but what are the actors doing right now? It just kind of is almost kind of awkward. It's just like, you know, if you think about the characters, you know, going out and doing something else, but then you think about the actors, it's just like, they probably had to eat that burger like 5 times. They're not actually eating it, or, you know, these are 2 random people that are kissing, or, you know, anything like that. And it, like, when you're watching a film or something like that, it's not weird, because there's the characters that are doing it. You're not seeing the actors doing it, you're seeing the characters doing it. But when you see it from, like, the other side, or you are on the other side, it's so weird. It feels embarrassing. Like, I did some voice acting stuff earlier on in the quarantine, just because, not like, I did like a voice acting course via Zoom. I didn't actually do any voice acting work or anything. And it's so funny listening to, like, animated things and realizing that this is just probably someone by themselves standing in front of a microphone making noises like they're getting punched. It's just kind of funny. Like, in context, I think that's really what it is. If you take any part of acting out of context, it's just bizarre. It's bizarre, it's embarrassing, it's just awkward. Once it's in context of whatever it's for, you know, it's usually fine. But, you know, you take it out of context and you're just like, this is just a person standing there making a whole bunch of noises with their mouth. They're not falling down a hill right now. They're just making a whole bunch of grunting noises into a microphone. And it's strange. It's strange when you look at it from that perspective. But it's kind of the same thing a little bit with doing these photographs for commercial stuff. Because it wasn't awkward on Monday when I went and did it. You know, it was pretty chill, just chatting with people and being like, there were certain aspects of it that are weird, like when the photographer's like, okay, now look at each other and laugh, it's weird, but it's just kind of, I'm sure seeing the photos later, if there could very well be a photo later of me and this other gal that I was kind of paired up with to do photos and stuff. There was not very many people there. There was like 3 of us that were in photographs, and like a gal from the company that was getting them done, and then the photographer. Might have been one more person. I can't remember. Like a photographer's assistant or something. I don't remember. Maybe not. But at the time, it's not natural to just out of the blue turn to the person next to you that maybe you don't know very well. Like, I didn't really know the gal that I was in photographs with. Like, we were chatting and stuff, and we were like, oh, because we had kind of met at the last the last commercial thing. We had both done, I can't remember if we did photographs or commercials. I can't remember. We'd kind of met at that last thing. So, we were chatting and stuff. But it's still really unnatural to just be told to turn to the person next to you and laugh. Like, that's not something that you do in everyday life. Usually. You're not usually told, okay, now laugh. But if the photos aren't out yet or anything, this was just on Monday. This will be months probably down the line. But, if you look at the photos later, it'll probably just look like 2 gals hanging out at this park, laughing over something. At the time, it's not natural. It's not natural feeling. And I think that's kind of what I was saying about. Was it Saturday that I was talking about how it takes time to get used to being on camera in general. It just takes it's not natural being on camera. And I was talking about how it's like taking a candid photograph versus a photograph that someone knows you're taking a photograph of them. Because it's figuring out, it really is that same sort of thing of figuring out how to make it look like a candid photograph, like a photograph of you that you don't know is being taken, while also knowing that it's being taken. It takes time to get into that sort of in between, not in between, but what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for. It just takes some, I guess, practice, sort of. It takes practice. Some people are probably just natural at it, but I know I'm not for sure. I've definitely gotten more used to being on camera as I stream more. Oh! Another photo of bottle. Just a second. Ooh! Oh, I like the background color for that, too. I'm liking the background color for that. That's pretty. And I like the stopper for it. Cool. That looks good. Yeah, that looks perfect, Jen. That looks perfect. I grow stronger. 2 bottles. Yeah, if you could just like message me on Discord with that stuff, that would be great. Oh yeah, so Scryer, I kind of gave up on the idea of making my own stickers, so I have hired Jen to design stickers for me. Let me get back to Twitch. That's the word I'm looking for. Let me get back to Twitch over here. I left it too long and all of the paint just dried on the surface. Just a moment here. Scratch all of that off. Luckily, acrylic paint, when it hasn't fully set up yet, is pretty easy. Oh. Anyone else here who has streamed or been on camera or done any sort of acting or anything? I don't know. Would you agree with what I'm saying about how it's not really natural to be on camera? It takes like time to get used to it, and also it's kind of like learning how to act natural in a photograph that you know is being taken. I think that's really what it is. I think it really is kind of like trying to act natural in a photo that you know is being taken. But I'm curious what you other folks think too. My throat's getting a little bit tired. I'm gonna drink some tea. I feel like that happens when you talk for an hour and a half straight. Oh, I should move my mouse out of the way. Don't need that on screen. Don't need that on screen. I should clean up my workspace so that it's not so cluttered. Don't need that on screen. Haha. There we go. One more side on these dice. But no, the colors and everything in that look perfect, Jen. It's so pretty. I really like the stopper. I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but I really like the flower stopper. And the little detail of the like vine parts coming down from the lily pads. That's really good. All right, let me see if I can show you these. So blue and silver. Ooh, let me turn on the overhead light. I'm gonna turn on the overhead light. I don't usually like using the overhead light, but it might make it a little bit easier to see things. They're a little bit more tealy in person, I feel like. Maybe a little bit more tealy, but blue, black, and silver. They're like kind of dark on one end and then kind of smoky up into the other. Yay, those are all done. Oh, I don't know why I put these back over here. These are all done. Blue. I'm blue. Gone. I'm trying to pack these in here so that I can fit them all. Yay! Those ones wanted to go in there. I don't know why the other ones didn't want to go in there. Nice. Where should I just set the other ones? Oh, they're right here. I literally just set them down. I'm like, where did they go? They're right here. Oh, I thought I had gotten some silver paint on the corner here, and no, it's just the silver foil. Looks like those are over there for now. Those are all done. All right. So, I have some really ugly dice. At least I think they're ugly. I don't know if everybody else will think they're ugly, but I think they're kind of ugly. It's another set where I kind of just put... Oh, if I can get them out of this thing, I'll show you. It's another set where I kind of put every glitter imaginable into a container. And it's just very, very busy. There's just like a lot of... Oh, hello, Luna. Okay, goodbye. Yay, ugly dice. Let's see if I can get it so you can see, though. And they're kind of like dark reddish purple on one end, and then they just have so much glitter. They're just so glittery. Like I said, it's one of those things where it's like, oh man, I don't know if I like them, but someone else might, because they're just kind of over the top. Woo! Just kind of over the top with how much glitter and everything's in there. There's just a lot going on. It just doesn't want to find. I think, there we go. See, there's just a lot going on in these dice. There's a lot going on. I'm thinking maybe gold. Because I do have, like, some gold. I could do gold, I could do silver. I think maybe some sort of just metallic. A lot of shapes and colors. While I'm a fan of shapes and colors, I'm maybe not a fan of that many shapes and colors together. Hi, Luna. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? I was thinking maybe gold, but there's actually quite a bit of gold in here. So I don't know if that'd be too much gold. But it might also, like, kind of tie things together. I'm debating between, like... There we go. That's actually pretty good. It finally focused. But see, there's a little bit of gold in there. So I don't want all 93 glitters in the set that you're making me? I mean, I don't know if I said that. No, probably not all 93 glitters. Oh gosh. So many. So many glitters. Oh. I dressed fancy tonight. Like, I knew that you guys wouldn't be able to see me because of how I had this set up. But also since we weren't working with resin, I wanted to dress fancy because I like dressing fancy. I guess I could also just move the webcam so you can see that I'm dressed fancy. But it's not really that important. I just wanted to dress fancy. So I've got a tie. Sorry, I'm trying to roll up my sleeve a little bit. I don't think this shirt was really meant to be worn as a fancy shirt, but it's gonna be. Alright, but yeah, I don't know. What do you guys have any ideas for colors for these? What color I should make these? Like I said, I could do. I'm thinking gold, but I'm open to other ideas. Take another drink of tea. I feel like I do have, like, kind of a, no, gold would work, yeah. I've kind of like a darker gold too, but I feel like that would just kind of bring out, I don't think that would be as pretty. I think that just bright gold might save these. I think the bright gold might save these. I mean, it's a tall order, but it might work. Yeah, let's go for bright gold, I think. Yeah, the dark would blend too much with all the colors. I agree with that. Hi, Knot. Do you want to come sit on my lap? Come here. Come here, kitten. Come on up. Hello. There's a kitten here. Come here. Go say hi to people. There we go. Just a kitten. Here, come lay down. Come lay down. I got kitten. Here, come lay down on my lap. Well, I'll do a side of the D6 here, and then we can reevaluate if it's looking good or not. I might need to open. I got a new thing of gold recently, which is good, because this one is running low. I use gold quite a bit. Am I gonna have enough? Yeah, I think I'll have enough paint, so. I have a kitten on my lap now, guys. It's great. Does this gold match though? Alright, I'm gonna do, like I said, I'm gonna do one side and then we can take a look. Yeah, I think gold might save these. I think it'll help tie everything together. Okay, we're gonna go gold. Let's see. So let's see. It's actually been more like 50 minutes per set of dice for inking them, but also I've been distracted by other things, so I don't think we can say that that was accurate. I was just thinking that though, because like I said before, I timed it, and it takes like 40 minutes for me to ink a set of dice. And that's inking without distractions. That's just only inking things. But I'm debating how long I want to stream tonight and whether we'll get to the Fate dice and the D6s that I have here. I think we could probably get to those too. We'll see. We'll see how things are feeling after this. 40 to 50 was your average on stream for inking. Stretch! Okay, let me get this one filled in, and then we can have our stretches. Okay. Now I rest my hands, and so do you! This is good, because like yesterday, I think I slept weird. My upper back was just sore. So it's good to stretch. And if anybody else hasn't stretched for a while, might be a good idea. Might be a good idea to just stretch a little bit. Oh, that's nice. Stretch my upper back. I'm not gonna stand up because I have a kitten on my lap. I do like that you can just kind of barely see the kitten. You can't even really see me now at all, but you can see a kitten, and that's the important part. Oh. Yeah, and 40 to 50 was Scryer's average on stream for inking. Yeah. That seems to be about how long it takes me is like I said, I timed it at one point. It was about 40 minutes. It's one of those things where I didn't realize how long it takes to actually ink a set of dice. I feel like pouring dice and sanding dice takes more time, and I think it's because I always do those with multiple sets at a time, and so it does end up taking more time. So like I'll be pouring 3 sets of dice, which means that I'm going to be there for more, an hour and a half or so. An hour and a half or so, because I'm going to be pouring 3 sets of dice, and it takes 40 minutes each. So really, to pour, dice, I'm going to be there for an hour and a half. And then for like sanding dice, I usually do that maybe in 3 or more sets at a time. And so I end up being there for at least an hour and a half, usually more. Whereas when I'm inking dice, sometimes I'll just do 1 set at a time, And I think I'll just do 1 set at a time, and then take a break, go do something else for a bit. Maybe the next day do another set. So I guess maybe it does kind of feel like less time because I end up taking less time all in one chunk to ink sets. But I don't know, it doesn't feel like it takes as much time to ink a set of dice as it does to sand them or make them. But it takes about the same amount of time. It takes about 40 minutes for each of those steps. Gotta fill this in. The one big problem with my logo is that it has a lot of really narrow areas. There's a couple of lines in there that are really thin. Gotta try and get those filled in with paint. There we go. Oh. I think maybe I went to bed late last night. I don't remember. I think I went to sleep a little bit late. I probably should have gone to bed a little bit earlier than I did. I like to say that, I've got a nice flexible schedule now. And I do. But at the same time, I also, have made a schedule for myself. So I still kind of, get up at the same time every day. And I'm working on the same things on the same days of the week. Oh, bye-bye. That kitten is leaving. Bye-bye. Let's move forward a little bit. And it's one of those things where someone else hasn't. I don't know. I'm not beholden to someone else's schedule, but I've still created kind of an external schedule that I feel like I have to follow. Which is good and bad. I really should maybe I should almost take more breaks. Like I kind of take lots of mini breaks where I get distracted by things and I go do something else, but I don't usually do that on purpose. And I really should give I should be able to feel like I can go do something that's not work. Because my default state now is kind of work. And I really should... I just painted my finger. My finger's now gold. I think that's what it is. My default state now is kind of work. Which maybe isn't the healthiest thing. I should figure out something else for my default state to be that's not work. But even on my days off, if I'm not doing something, I'm probably doing something that's kind of work related that maybe I didn't have planned for anything. So is it on Thursday or Sunday? I can't remember. One of those nights, I was just updating the cover photos for some of my commissions. It's it's my day off, but I didn't actually, put this on my calendar for any other time, so I'm not going to work on it. So let's just work on that. It's I should just put this on my calendar to do on a day that I've said I'm going to be working, but instead I'm doing it on the day that's supposed to be my day off. And I think I've heard before that that's one of the dangers of working at home is that it's hard to turn off your work brain, and I can get that. I get that now. When you're working at home, you're always at the office. And I mean, there's certain things that even on my days off, I would be doing. I still respond to messages that people send me on days off. I don't want to leave those. Partially because I worry I will forget them if I leave them. But, if people message me asking about commissions or something, I usually try to respond to those right away. I think the gold is helping. I think the gold is making me like these a lot more. Maybe part of it was just that I couldn't see the numbers. I've been calling this set in my brain the Mardi Gras set because they really remind me of those Mardi Gras beads, those ones, the kind of cheap plastic necklaces with the beads on them that I always thought were really fun as a kid. Because it came in all the colors. All the shapes and colors. But I think maybe they kind of remind me of those a little bit. Just because there's so much glitter and different colors and things. So maybe I should save these for next... Wait, when is Mardi Gras? Oh, I guess it's Is it in February? Oh gosh, I don't remember now. It's not like it's something that I tend to celebrate really, but I was kind of debating whether I should save them for around then, but I don't think people are gonna just get dice for Mardi Gras, so I might as well just put them in the store now. Here, I'll show you this set. I haven't finished inking this set yet, but I think the gold is in March. Oh, okay. I think the gold helped. I think it feels a lot better with the gold. I feel I like these better now that I can read the numbers and everything. To be fair, there's been a few sets that I've just been like, I don't know if I like these, and then I ink them and I'm just like, oh, I do like these. To be fair, one of those sets was actually the Sunrise dice. The first set that I did of those, I was just like, like, these colors are nice, I guess, but they don't really pop or anything. And then I inked them in gold, and I'm like, ooh. Actually, I like these. I think this is one of those sets where I'm just like, I don't know how I feel about these, and then I'm getting that the numbers filled in with gold, and it's like, oh, actually maybe I do like these. Maybe I do like these. So, yeah, that's. I haven't finished inking it, and then the other side is just like a really dark purple, but the gold pops nicely on that, which I'm liking. There's that was something I was asked recently in a dice exchange was, do you want your dice inked so that they're legible or for aesthetic? And there's I guess that's kind of with the rainbow dice that we did, that we inked earlier, that are, I did in like a pearlescent white, but then you see that like the one side that has the pearlescent white is maybe a little bit hard to read. But I felt like the pearlescent white would look the best. One of those things where it's just like, do I go for these being super readable, or do I want to go for what I think is just going to look the best? And I feel like sometimes it's one, sometimes it's the other. This one I think no matter what color I did, it'd be kind of hard to read a little bit because they're so busy. But the gold is definitely for aesthetics. Like, I think the gold might be a little bit hard to read on that side that has all of the glitter and everything with all the gold. It's readable, but maybe blends in a little bit. But I do think that it's tying everything together really nicely. So I'm feeling a lot better about these now. That's something I think I've mentioned before. I've mentioned a lot of things before, guys. I have nothing new going on with me, if you couldn't tell. What was it? Oh, just that even if I make a set of dice and I don't necessarily like them, I'll still like finish them and put them up in my shop and stuff because maybe someone else will. And I think part of the nice thing about that is that, this set I made, then I'm just like, I don't know if I like these. But because I finished them up and now I'm inking them, it's like, oh, maybe I do actually like these. Just kind of gave them a little bit of a chance. And so it works out. They didn't get shoved somewhere else out of the way for who knows. To be fair, I did kind of put these on the back burner for a while because I was just like, I don't know if I like those. But now that I've actually got them all cleaned up, it's like, oh, this wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Although now I've gotten paint everywhere on this die. I got paint all over the side. This is what it looks like before I wipe all of the paint off. Almost done with the D20. Oh. I really need to make molds tomorrow. So I'm working on a couple of sets of dice. I mean, I've mentioned that. So I'm messing around with the blank inserts that I got. I got some, like this one. So it's just like a blank die, but it's slightly smaller than my regular dice, so I can, paint on them and stuff and then put that inside of a die. I'm messing around with those for a little bit for a commission and then a little bit for a dice exchange that I'm doing. Not your dice, Scryer, they're for Meryl, but I don't know, maybe I'll use that for yours. I don't know. I'm still kind of figuring yours out. Actually, it's a good thing that I didn't pour dice tonight because I was planning on working on your dice for the exchange. Anyways, what something I found out, or that I realized when I went to go uh, put those inside of the other dice to like pour, um, was that the D4, which is just like a triangle. Oh, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, I ended up not working on that tonight, anyways. But the D4 was way too the blank D4 was way too big. The little, what do you call a triangle? 3-dimensional triangle. I'm just realizing that. Because, like, you know, a cube I would call like a 3-dimensional square. What do you call a pyramid? Pyramid. There we go. Words. Yeah, the little pyramid was just like way too big, and so I went to go use those the other night, and they wouldn't fit really quite right. So I need to remake those. I went and sanded down. Your word brain is on. Mine apparently is not, since I couldn't remember the word pyramid. I need to go remake a couple of those for the exchange that I'm doing, and then also a commission that I'm working on. Because I was going to use those blank inserts for both of those. But I need to make the mold first for the little pyramid. I guess I don't have to. I could just sand down the insert once I make it. But I need to make some a mold of the slightly smaller pyramid. So that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. Doing more mold making. I was going to do mold making yesterday, and then I don't know what. Yesterday was weird. Like, yesterday, I don't know what I did all day. This was something I was, like, thinking about yesterday. Like, I went to a friend's house for dinner now that we're all vaccinated. You know, just meeting up with small groups of people. It's just a friend. And, you know, that was, you know, like 5 o'clock. But, and we'll say I started working at like noon or so. But like, between, you know, in those 4.5 hours, 4.5 hours in between, I'm like, what did I do for 4 hours? I did some stuff that maybe would have taken 2 hours. What did I do yesterday, actually? Yesterday. Oh, yeah. I literally just cleaned dice and inked dice. Yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yes. Yeah, yesterday. I cleaned dice and inked dice. And I'm like, that should have taken, like, maybe 2 hours. What did I do for the other 2 hours? I still can't figure it out. I can't figure out what I did yesterday for 2 hours. Like, I don't know what happened. Did I maybe start working later than I thought I did? Did I start working afternoon? I did also then work on stuff after I got home, but that time in between like noon and 5 when I went to a friend's house, it's like, what happened? Maybe I started working later than I thought. Maybe I started closer to 1. Or, like, you know, it's still 3 hours, and I can only really think of, like, stuff I would have been doing for 2. I guess maybe, you know, because I inked a set of dice and a couple of D6s. So that, you know, 40 minutes for a set of dice and a couple of D6s. So maybe 50 minutes, we'll say. Maybe an hour. And then I cleaned some dice. How many sets of dice did I clean? We'll say maybe I cleaned like 3 sets of dice, and they take 20 minutes each. That's maybe another hour, because we'll say 3 sets of dice, 20 minutes each. There's an hour. But it still doesn't account for at least another hour. It's like, what did I do? I really cannot figure out where an hour went yesterday. I don't remember how I got on this topic. Was it how my brain not working? I don't remember. But I don't know. This is my other problem with just working and time management. It's like, I don't know how long things take. Maybe I was actually maybe I did take 3 hours to clean and ink dice. I don't know. Doesn't seem like it should have taken that long, but maybe I did spend 3 hours for some reason. Did I take a big break in the middle? I don't remember. Maybe I took a big break to go make tea and... I guess... Actually, you know what? Let's say... So I thought maybe I started working at 12. Maybe I started at 1. We'll say I worked from 1 to 4, so that's 3 hours. I did go and swap around the stuff in the tumblers, which takes maybe 15 minutes. So that's 15 minutes. Yeah, no, I still don't know. I still don't know where... I'm still missing 45 minutes then. I can't think of other stuff that I had done. It's very weird. My brain does not perceive time well. It just makes me confused about time, apparently. At least today, I kind of know what I did. That's kind of a nice thing, actually, about sanding dice, is on the one hand, it kind of feels like I'm not working. Because it seems like I should be able to get more done in, 3 hours or whatever. But at the same time, I know what I was working on for 3 hours because it was the same thing. If I spend 3 hours sanding, I know what I was doing during those 3 hours. And it's not, a surprise to me if, more or less time has passed. Because I was just kind of working on one thing, but I don't know. Yesterday with the, oh, hey, there's the pawn dice just went past on the screen. Yeah. Missing an hour of my day. If anyone has any information, please report it to. Okay. More gold paint. Do you guys like my random rambling? I know that I tend to talk a lot on stream, and part of that is just because, I know if I'm going to put on a stream, usually I put it on in the background, and usually if I'm putting it on in the background, I'm not really watching it so much as I'm just kind of listening to it. That's part of the reason that I kind of talk nonstop. It's just so that there's actually something to listen to while you're working on other stuff and you have it on in the background. It does also kind of feel like I'm talking a lot. I don't know, it's one of those, I don't know, I always kind of feel like I'm talking maybe a little bit too much. I don't necessarily mean on here, I mean more in everyday life a little bit, but to be fair, I think I've gotten quieter. I'm not nearly as talkative. I guess there's not a lot of people to talk to. Not a lot of people to talk to at the moment. That was something... Again, it's weird looking back on things and being like, oh yeah, ADHD makes sense. Because when I was at university, I remember at one point being at a friend's apartment and it being fairly late at night and having to be told repeatedly... Oh, thanks, Scryer. Having to be told repeatedly to talk quieter because, I would just forget that was something I needed to do every time I talked. So I just talked loud. And it was just one of those things where I just did not realize it at the time that I was talking loud until someone pointed it out. But, And also, there was also a birthday party I went to when I was at university, and I did not realize that I was the only sober person there. Because, I just kind of noticed that everyone was maybe a little bit louder than usual, but I did not realize that I was the only sober person there until someone mentioned that they were drunk. It's just oh, well, I'm just kind of normally this loud and obnoxious. I didn't even realize. Oh, okay. Yeah, and it was just well, okay. To be fair, even before I streamed and stuff, I used to say that I can talk about nothing for a long period of time. And that kind of came about at one point because I was doing, I think that started, or just that idea of mine started when I was doing a mic check for, I think, some sort of school play or something. I was doing a mic check, and you need to keep talking about stuff so that they can make sure the levels are good and all that sort of stuff. And I realized that I was perfectly good at that because I could talk about absolutely nothing for an extended period of time. It's excellent. I can spout garbage. I can spout nonsense for forever and ever. And it was literally just stuff like that, too. Just yes, I can talk about absolutely nothing for an extended period of time. Look, I am saying words. Yes, these are words being said. And then I will probably be quiet after this because we don't need to test the mic anymore. It's just talking about basically just the same stuff over and over again, which I guess is kind of what I'm doing anyways. You've never been great at just talking, so it's fun to listen to someone who can. Man, I don't know if it's a good thing or not, that I can talk nonstop. I don't know. But, thanks. Oops, I just moved on to the, other side here. To be fair, you have, music and stuff in your streams. I've kind of debated maybe adding some music, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't know if I want to, figure that out. It really kind of depends on what I'm doing, too. I when I'm pouring resin and stuff, I don't really want music in the background because I figure I'm probably kind of hard to understand with the respirator on. And so I don't want a lot of excess noise because I don't know if you'll be able to understand me or not. Anyways, I think part of that is just because I personally kind of read lips sometimes. Especially if everyone wearing masks has been a nightmare for me. I can hear just fine, but my comprehension maybe is not great. And so I just kind of watch what people are saying sometimes more than I listen to what people are saying. And so that's not always the case with streaming and stuff because like I said, I put things on in the background. And maybe I don't pay 100%. I don't always pay 100% attention. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. To what's being said and stuff. But, what was I saying? Oh, but I figure hopefully it'll be. I want things to be as understandable as possible. Since I figure it might be a little bit difficult to understand anyways, I don't want to add to that. That was something that I don't know if anyone noticed, because I talk a lot anyways, but at one point we had someone in the chat and English was not their first language. And I don't know if anyone noticed, but I repeated a lot of the same things over again, but I used different words. It's something that I don't know if I kind of did it consciously, but it was kind of subconscious, but I realized that I was doing it at the time, but I was saying, I would try to explain things in multiple ways using different vernacular and stuff, because it's just like, I know that, someone where English isn't their first language, it might be difficult for them to understand a certain word, but it might be easier for them to understand a different word. Maybe they know that vocabulary better or something. I don't know. It was just, I don't know. It just made me think of that, being able to talk a lot and kind of saying the same thing over and over again in different ways. It's like, I guess that is kind of useful when it comes to that. I feel like that's kind of useful when you're trying to teach someone something too. Because, like, if someone is trying to explain something to me and I don't understand what they're trying to say, if they say the exact same thing over again, it's not going to help. Usually. Sometimes it's just, sometimes a light bulb moment happens and it's just like, oh, I see what you're saying now. But usually, if I don't understand what someone's saying, and they say the exact same thing, it's not gonna help me, because I'll just hear the exact same thing. It's not gonna change anything, unless I'm like, hey, could you repeat that? Because sometimes I just do not comprehend words, especially if I'm not expecting someone to come talk to me. But oh, thought my brother was walking this way, but no. So I don't know. That was just something that I feel like that is actually kind of a useful skill to have if you're trying to give people new information to a certain, give people new information, I guess. Be able to tell that information to them in more ways than one. But yeah, I don't know if any of you noticed that or not. I mean, I don't know who all was there necessarily, but that was something that I just thought of when I was talking about. I was talking about talking about talking. Wow, this has gotten very meta. Oh, I'm getting low on my gold paint, which is fine. I did get a second thing. I went to Michael's and got another thing of gold paint, but slightly different brand and stuff, but it's pretty similar. We should have enough to finish these dice, though. That's kind of the important thing. As long as everything is the same over a set of dice, we're fine. We're golden. As long as everything is the same over the set of dice, we're golden. All right. Alright. Yeah, there's gonna be plenty of this right here. What is everybody else up to? I know that Scryer's working on a book, and Jen was drawing, but I think maybe was taking a break, which is always good. And I'm painting dice. Fun. Channeling garlic noodles. Garlic noodles. I think I might need to go eat something after I finish streaming. I had a sandwich earlier, but I maybe should have had a bigger sandwich. Chinese food? Ooh! Apparently there's Chinese food. I'll have to grab some of that after I finish streaming. I think maybe I want to try and finish these as well, though. And that's just a couple of that's 46s and 4 fate dice, fudge dice, whichever you want to call them. So those shouldn't take very long at all, but I think it'll be good to get things out of the way and all done. Like I said, I haven't gotten like anything inked for the next restock, which is like, I was debating doing resin stuff tonight, but I'm like, I really need to get stuff inked. I'm gonna use this as an excuse to get stuff inked. There we go. All right, 2 more dice. I can show them all off. I feel like, oh, I thought something changed in the chat. No. I don't know why. I wonder if I'm holding my throat or I'm talking in a way that's not natural, but I'm getting a little bit of a sore throat. Just a little bit. I feel like I've done longer streams. Actually, you know what? I was going to say I feel like I could talk for longer when I first started streaming. When I first started streaming, like the average length of my streams was 2.5 hours. Like, I feel like that was kind of how long my streams usually went, was about 2.5 hours. And that's kind of gone up a little bit to like, you know, probably a normal stream being about 3 hours. And sometimes going all the way up to like 5. But, so maybe I've just started streaming for longer and that's why. I'm getting a little bit of a sore throat. But no, I wonder if I'm talking in a way that's not completely natural. I mean, I am obviously not talking in a way that is completely natural because I don't usually talk nonstop for such an extended period of time. Like, usually if I'm talking in a conversation with someone, in which case, like, there's back and forth. If you're having a conversation, there's moments where you're quiet and you're listening to the other person. I mean, hopefully. But in this case, even if someone else is talking, and I mean that if someone else types something in the chat, I'm talking for them too. Usually I will read the comment aloud or before responding to it and stuff. Like there's even though I'm having a dialogue with y'all, I'm still not there's still not really a break for me to listen, so I end up talking the whole time. So I'm not having a 2.5 hour conversation really. I'm still having a dialogue, but there's not really that moment of listening as much. Like quite often, like I'll read someone's comment or something, maybe some lore about something or what someone's working on and stuff. I won't read it first. I'll just read it and comprehend it at the same time. I'll read it aloud, I mean. So there's not really that pause. Not really that pause. I'll usually skim. To be fair, if people send messages, usually I will kind of be like, okay, what sort of words are in this that I should, what's the context? But quite often I don't actually read through what people are saying in the chat before reading it aloud. Which is maybe not smart, but also, for the most part, I don't know, I feel like, this is a small enough group of people that I should hopefully be able to trust people to not do weird things in the chat. But also, I will ban you if you do. Well, weird is fine. Weird is fine. Being inappropriate and stuff is not. To a certain degree. PG-13. Pretty sure that's actually, like, the rules. Gotta be, like, PG-13. Actually, no, I don't know what the rules are for Twitch. I'd like to be kind of PG-13. I feel like that's a good place to be. Nothing, I don't really enjoy things that are too crude or anything like that. You follow a streamer that's advertised constantly for mature audiences. Oh, okay. Yeah, I feel like, see, that's fine. I think technically you have to be over the 13 or older. No strikes or anything, just saying. Oh, okay. I think you technically have to be 13 or older to, be on Twitch, like, watch streams and stuff. But at the same time, you can set it so people only 18 plus can view your channel. Oh, okay. That's not really what I'm going for, though. That was kind of my point. Like, it's good. That's good to know. It's good to know that there is that option available. But that's not really what I want for my channel. I'm fine with people who are, 15 or whatever that want to do arts and crafts coming and hanging out. But I do think technically people are supposed to be 13 or older if they're gonna be on Twitch at all. Oops, there's like a piece of paint stuck in here that's the wrong color. Okay. There's those done. Let me show you these. I'm liking them so much more. I'm liking them so much more. Now that they have the paint in them. The color. 13 is the usual age for stuff like that. Yeah. A lot of online stuff. I mean, to be fair, I remember being a kid being like, yes, I am 13 or older. And even though I wasn't. But, you know, those are the rules. I like them a lot better now that they have the gold in. And then just kind of like a really dark purple on that side. There wasn't much to do on the internet before you were 13. Actually, that's a good point. Maybe, yeah, that's true. Did Google exist when I was 13? Because Google was, what, 2005? Was it 2005 that Google became a thing? Or am I thinking of YouTube? To be fair, I do remember, like, albino black sheep and stuff, but, which one was 2005? I don't remember. Wait, now I have to figure out when I was 13, though. So, gosh, oh man, how old, okay, wait. I gotta do math. 2004, I would have been 10. Yeah, so Google would have been a thing when I was 13. Because I would have been 13 in, like, 2007, I think. If I can do my math correctly. If you guys want to figure out what year I was born and steal my identity, this will be it. But, I think it was 2007 I would have been 13. So things existed then. But, to be fair, I don't even know what I don't even remember what I was doing on the internet. But there we go. Those are all done. I think you're a couple years older than I am, though. I think, Scryer. Okay, I got some like rainbowy. To be fair, I'm not sure. Like I am so bad at like guessing ages now. Like everyone looks the same age to me. That's between the age of like 25 and 40. Everyone in that age. You're playing RuneScape. Yep. I never really played much RuneScape, but my brother did. I got some kind of rainbowy. Oh, so I'm older than you. I'm older than you. Because I am 27. Why did I think you were older than me? Maybe it's because you're, like, married or whatever. Like I said, everyone from the age of, like, 25 to 40 looks the same age to me now. But anyways, I got these, I've got these rainbowy fate dice. Maybe white? I don't know. What color should I do these? Because they've kind of got a lot of different colors in them. Ooh, that one. I like this side. This side's pretty. They've kind of got a lot of different colors in them. So I was thinking maybe white. Well, I'm not 100% on that. Could do white. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think on white maybe? What colors? That's no. I'm open to ideas on that. Like maybe like gold might look good too, but also I just like using gold and everything. Like we could do a color, we could do, you know, light blue or something. Blue might be kind of pretty, actually. As long as it's legible, that's the thing. As long as it's legible. Guys, I need input. I need input. What color should I ink these? To feel the blue's kind of looking good. Maybe the light blue. But would that be readable? Man, it's so weird. Man. It's really weird to me when I like watch YouTube videos from folks or stuff like that, and then I find out that they're like 4 years younger than me. I'm just like, oh gosh. or people are doing like are I don't know, nuclear physicists or something, and they're younger than me, and I'm just like, this doesn't make sense. I'm still a child, but I'm really not. I'm really not. It makes me feel so old. So old. Well, you know what? I'm not sure between the white and the blue, so I'm going to do one each and then decide from there. I'm not getting any feedback from y'all, so I'm going to try doing one of each and see which one I like better. I'm going to do one of these blue. That's kind of nice. Blue. Yeah, I've never been... Sorry, I'm thinking about RuneScape again. I've never really been a big video game person. I have a little bit. Like, I grew up playing MMOs, like, as a child, because both my parents played MMOs. Like, I remember, like, EverQuest. Yeah, EverQuest was really where it started, but I don't know, I never been a big video game person. I've always enjoyed watching other people play video games, but I've never really been a big gamer. Which maybe doesn't quite work out for Twitch. Like the only game that I've really gotten super invested in is Minecraft recently. And that's just because I can play it with friends and I can build things, and I like building things. Obviously. I like making like artistic things, and there's lots of opportunities for that in there. I also like puzzle games. I'll say that one. Like, I have a couple of like puzzle games on Steam that's like, I should play that at some point. You don't know if you can say you really played RuneScape, you just spent hours cutting down trees. So what I'm hearing is you need to come play Minecraft with me, cause that's basically what I'm doing, I guess. Except that I'm just mining a whole bunch. Alright. Blue or white? What are we thinking? What do we think? Blue or white? I kind of think the white, but I've done that before, sort of, with some other sets. Young you would be perfect with that. Yeah, I think the white. I think I like the white. It pops more. Let me get the blue out. I'm just gonna add some water there and work the. While it's still wet, it's much easier to get that paint out of there. Alright. There's still a little bit of blue just kind of caught in the corners there. Let's get that out of there. It's always kind of fun when I do this, and then it's kind of starting to dry a little bit, but it's not completely dry, and then it just kind of all peels out of there. There's something nice with that. If I was going to do a color, I'd probably need to pull out a neon. Yeah. I don't really have too many good like neon colors. I have maybe a bright pink, but I mean, could do bright pink. I think I'm just gonna stick with white. I think the white's not gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna be boring. I'm gonna be boring and just go with white. Yeah, that could use a little bit more over there. Okay. I probably should get more white paint at some point. I need more paint options. I mean, I've got some paint. I got paint. Look, I got paint. I got my rainbow of paints. Like I could do bright pink. Like I have different colors here, but not enough. I mean, I have a few more off to the side, but these are the ones that I use the most. These are the ones that I use the most. And then there's some metallics here and a black. Oh wait, I have a couple more. Oh wait, I'll show you guys the one that I got recently. I have a rose gold. That's a new gold. I have a pearlescent white. This was a bigger bottle than I thought it was going to be when I ordered it. I got glow in the dark paint, guys. I got glow in the dark paint. So, I could, oh wait. That might be a fun little surprise. It dries clear. Maybe I'll do these white, and then I'll put glow in the dark paint over the white. It'd just be a fun little surprise that they glow in the dark. I don't know. That would just amuse me, I think. So, I think maybe we'll do that. Ooh, although I could do these with glow in the dark paint. Yeah, I'm sure it's not enough paint, Miss 93 glitters. So much glitter. You do make me feel better about the amount of random pigments that I have. There's so much glitter. I mean, oh, being there for 4 hours? Huh, weird. That seems off. How? Like, did she like polish them all the way first or something? That makes no sense to me. That makes no sense to me also because like to be fair, I have mine on for days too. To be fair, I have heard that depending on the tumbler, some of them go quicker. But maybe not that quick. What was I gonna say? Yeah, no, I have mine on for days too. That's how? Yeah, I think I like the white. I think the white's good. There's a second. Now I gotta go look. Huh. That's so weird. How? Yeah, that's what I do. That I do just the first 3, and then I put them in the tumbler for like 4 days or something. I used to do like 2 days, I think. I should actually like measure how many days it takes because I haven't actually paid attention to exactly how many days it takes for things to get all polished in the tumbler, but it takes days. But no, I have heard that some of the tumblers are maybe a little quicker. They're just a little bit stronger. But that still seems so much quicker. Okay, might have to ask which tumbler she's using. 'Cause that seems so quick. for everybody else who might be confused, we're talking about, so I have like a tumbler that I use to polish my dice. I sand the dice and then I kind of polish them a little bit, like the first 3 Zona papers. I'd have to look. I don't know which one he used. And it makes them like super, super shiny and stuff, and it's great. Like, you know, these things get, you can see the reflection there. Like, these things get so shiny in the, and have like no, there we go. Yeah, these things get so shiny. But to do that, you know, after I sand them and stuff, I stick them into a tumbler with some hardwood medium and some polish for like, I don't know how many days, but I stick them in there for a few days. And that's pretty much them being in there 24 hours. Like, not always, but like I'll get up in the morning and refresh everything and then stick them back in. And then in the evening, I'll go and refresh it and let it go overnight. Like, I'm talking actual days. And the other person in Scryer's and my little dice making group chat, there's 3 of us, just got a tumbler. Just got it and all the stuff for it. And apparently put her dice in for 4 hours and they are polished. And so we're just over here like, how? How? I am now curious what tumbler this is and whether I should get one. Because that seems crazy to me. That seems so fast. Yeah. Don't worry. I will be grilling people after I finish streaming to find out how. Cuz that seems so fast. That's quite possible, to be honest, but cuz like, you know, I end up with scratches and then I kind of have those in there for long enough for all the scratches to get buffed out. But I don't know, even then that just seems really quick. Cuz you know, they're still kind of matte when I put them in, and they're still kind of matte in the evening almost when I refresh things. So that just seems strange. That just seems very fast. I don't know. Maybe it's just a different tumbler. Maybe it's possible it's just a different like, well, kind of like what I was saying earlier, I used to leave them in for a shorter amount of time. And then, oh gosh, I just got paint everywhere. I used to leave mine in the tumbler for a shorter amount of time, but I have kind of like, I'd say higher expectations now of what the tumbler's going to do for me. And so I leave them in for longer. I mean, it's like, I don't know if it's some of that. I don't know. Yeah, I'm so curious to see. That is so bizarre to me. But I don't know. Maybe it's just a different tumbler or something. I do remember. So when I was first looking at tumblers, I kind of came across that because of the Dice Making Discoveries group on Facebook, which they're still on hiatus, I believe. But I think one of the folks on there said that usually took their dice. Actually, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, I think on there, someone said that it only took about 8 hours or something like that for their dice. And I think they were using a different tumbler that was maybe a little bit more powerful. So I wonder if maybe it's just a different tumbler than the ones we're using. In which case, I want to know what tumbler is being used. Because, you know, that might be nice to have. Although, to be fair, I feel like maybe my holdup at the moment is how fast I can sand things. But at the same time, it'd be nice to have things done a lot quicker. For, like, commissions and stuff, that'd be sweet. Be super nice to have things done quick. To be fair, I was kind of worried when I was looking at tumblers because I had heard that like the Harbor Freight one had like overheated for people and stuff. So I was like, we'll go with this one that people have said works but hasn't overheated. The usual time you hear is around 72 hours. Yeah, that seems reasonable. That seems about, that would line up with my experience there. About 3 days. That makes sense to me. Do I want to make those glow in the dark? I might make those glow in the dark. But in the meantime, let's look at these. Let's look at these D6s. You know, actually, these are, I'm pretty happy with these Petrie as well. If it'll focus. There we go. So there's Petrie, they have some hollow glitter and some iridescent flakes in there. I feel like we could do these we can go almost on any direction with these. Like, I could do like some sort of like, Why is there an unhappy face? Why is there an unhappy face with these D6s? Teal's an option. That'd be kind of, ooh, that'd be pretty actually. Yeah, this looks more blue on camera, but ooh, teal could be very pretty. Yeah, I was gonna say there's a few different options. I think I like the teal better than the lime green. This is very watermelony, but I think the teal is I like that one better. Pearl white. Yeah, I could do just a pearl white. That was why I was saying I feel like I could go almost any direction with these. I was thinking either yellow or orange too as an option. I think maybe not the pearl white. I feel like that would look really classy, but I feel like that's what I would normally go with, sort of. I think either the teal or the yellow. Or we could do both, but yeah, yellow or teal. Well, tell you what, I'll do the same thing. I'll do a dot of each and we can see which one we like better. I'm just gonna do one dot of teal. Hello, Fitz. I have a kitty cat here to join me. So these these dice with pips. Do you have any? Do you ever do any dice with pips, Scryer? Because these ones are hard to ink because they're so open that it's hard to wipe away the paint on the outside without also wiping the paint on the inside. All right, let's try the yellow. Get any yellow. There's some yellow. Don't need that much yellow, I don't think. All right. You want to, but you don't have any master's form. That's fair. That's fair. I got them because pretty early on, someone that I know in real life was asking about getting sets of D6s. I was like, that seems like a good plan. Okay. So we've got the pink and the yellow, which that's nice, the pink and the yellow. And we've got the pink and the teal. They both look nice, but wait, let me try one more thing. What if teal and yellow? We could do teal and yellow. I don't know. I don't know. Teal and yellow. I feel like the yellow pops more, but I like the teal. So I think that's we could try doing teal and yellow. I'm gonna grab a second paintbrush here. This is how I usually do sets that have more than one color in them. Is I just grab a second paint. You know, if it's just two, I grab a second paintbrush, and I use a different paintbrush for each color. And yeah. So I'm gonna start filling these in with the colors. I'm not trying to make them like even or anything, just trying to get some of both color in all of these. Actually, I want a little bit more yellow in this one though. Oops, that was more yellow than I meant to grab. So I'll do this whole side with the teal and the yellow, and we can take a look. Oh gosh, yeah. Have a good night, Squire. Thanks for stopping by. I'm glad you could come hang out for a bit. Here, let me see how this looks. I don't know, is that too much? Is that too much, you think? Is it too many colors? That might be too many colors. No, that's a good number of colors. All right, I'll do teal and yellow. Good night. Yeah, have a good night. All right. I don't remember what color I had on which brush. I guess it doesn't really matter. Although this one needs just a little bit more paint right here. These might need a little bit of cleanup. We'll see. But like I said, they smear so easy because they're just so open compared to the numbers. Like they're not as deep set, and they're kind of like rounded. Although in this case, it's kind of nice that it smears because it kind of makes them like even more uneven when it comes to the colors, and I kind of like that. I kind of like that they're almost a little marbled. Oh, there's something kind of fun about that. But it does also mean that like they're kind of hard to hold on to because I can very easily stick my finger in one of the divots and just get, you know, paint everywhere. All right, some more teal. You know, I enjoy doing the streams where we pour resin and stuff, but there's something nice about just having kind of a chill, just sit here and kind of work on something while chatting sort of stream. Yeah. I think this is going to be a case where I'm like, I don't know until it's done, and then I'm just like, yes, those were the right choices. That was the right colors to do. At the moment, I'm just like, is it too much? But I think once it's done, I'm gonna like it. There's certain art projects where it's like, I don't know, and until it's done, at which point I'm like, okay, this worked out. This worked out. But while I'm working on it, I'm like, is this gonna work out? I don't know. It's gonna be a close one. But I like all of these colors. I like bright colors. I think that's really what it comes down to. I like colors and shapes, guys. I like colors and shapes. Ah, see, that's what I was saying. I just stuck my finger into one of the divots. So easy to do. Just set that down. Do it on the fore side. I'll clean that off. I've got kind of a little bit of teal on the yellow. I don't want to mix that back into the yellow. Not what I want to do. Also don't want to get it super wet. There we go. I'm a little bit quieter now because I'm holding the second paintbrush in my teeth, which maybe, like, I would not advise this to people. Like, acrylic paint is not necessarily non-toxic. So, you know, probably don't hold paintbrushes in your teeth. But, you know, do as I say, not as I do. I'm still gonna be dangerous. I'm just living dangerously. I'm living dangerously over here holding a paintbrush in my teeth. But I don't have enough hands. Alright, let's take a look at this. Take a look at this dye and see how we like it. I think my only qualms with it is that it almost takes, like, I feel like the pink isn't as, like, noticeable now. Like, I feel like it's not as big of a focal point. The pink isn't. That's my only real qualms with the numbers on the colors of the pips. Like, I feel like I don't look at, like, the pretty insides of the dice as much. But I don't know. That's me because I made them, I think. That might just be me because I made them. Alright. But I do think that the colors are pretty. I just think that maybe it makes it so that the design of the pink isn't as noticeable. Garlic noodles consumed. I'm gonna go steal Chinese food once I'm done with these. Because it sounds like there's Chinese food. I didn't realize that was a thing that was happening, but it kind of makes sense now because I thought I heard my brother on the phone earlier. I was like, who's he talking to? Call my dad or something? But him ordering Chinese food makes sense. Alright. Sorry, I'm holding the other paintbrush for my teeth now. So I'm still quiet. There we go. I need a little bit more yellow. This yellow is a little bit thicker, I think, than the teal. Alright. Next one. I do like the kind of swirly marbling effect it's giving though. Yeah, I like how kind of like marbled it is. There. You can see how kind of marbled it is. But yeah, I just worry that it you don't pay as much attention to the pink on the inside. I don't know. I'm still not sure about it. Still not sure. I mean, I'm still doing them like this, but I'm still not sure. Do some more teal. Do some more yellow. just a nap on my table. Do some more teal. You know, I just said that I didn't have anywhere to hold my other paintbrush, but also I'm now holding a second paintbrush while I'm painting with that paintbrush. I could just swap them back and forth. But it's easier to put it in my mouth, apparently. That has yellow on it. We're going to wash that one before I put it back in the teal. Oops. And not get water everywhere. Alright. Trying to get a nice big blob out of the teal. Alrighty. There's that side done. Moving on to the next one. Need more teal. Ah, that was more teal than I needed. Yeah, I'm definitely starting to wind down a bit for the night. I can already tell. Like, part of it is just I'm holding a paintbrush in my mouth, so I'm a little bit quieter. But also I'm just like, I'm just chilling out. But again, that's kind of what I was saying about this stream is like, you know, it's nice to just kind of chill out every once in a while. Just sit down and kind of work on something that doesn't take as much brain power as trying to figure out making dice. And like, it's not necessarily even the making of the dice themselves. It's just trying to figure out all the materials and everything I need and making sure that I do things in the right order. Oops, try not to stick my finger in that. In this case, like, the biggest conundrum is, what color should I pick? But once I have the colors figured out, I don't have to try and remember things from there. Oops, there is teal on that. Here's another one done. And another one. Wash both of these off. But yeah, on Saturday, I think we're gonna do maybe a couple of dice, maybe. But I want to try out the phone grip molds that Jen got for me. Try those out. I need to think up some designs in the meantime. Maybe I'll add that to my calendar actually. Maybe I'll do some of that tomorrow. Start thinking up some phone grip designs. Although if anybody else has ideas for things that I should do, you know, feel free to send them my way. I can try some things out. My only real concern with those is, I guess if I make them thick enough, it shouldn't be an issue. But the whole heat resistance thing with, like, what I was talking about with the resin earlier with the, like how I haven't made coasters because the, my resin is just slightly not heat resistant enough. Like, it just leaves, like, a little bit of a dent. And so, you know, putting it on, like, the back of a hot phone, I'm like, don't know if that would be good or not. But that's this one right here. That's this. This is actually the liquid diamonds. Here, just a second. Let me finish this side and then I'll show you. So I was actually doing a test during this stream with that. So I didn't do anything super thick or anything because all I really wanted to test was if I put a hot drink on it, will it cause any sort of issue? But it has the same sort of thing. So here, I cracked this because it's very thin, but that's not what I'm looking at. What I'm looking at is let's see if I can get it so you can see. You see that little like indentation there right next to the edge where the light is right there? It has that same sort of little indentation as yeah. Although I might try it on this side. I mean, it's not hot now, but I'll try it again. But it seems to be having the same issue that the Art and Glow has. But it will probably be okay. The Art and Glow will, because if I'm going to be doing a phone group, it should be slightly away from the phone because it'll have that piece in between that pops out, which I'll need to get. But it was just something I was thinking about. Just, you know, if it's being held like a whole bunch, or what am I thinking of? But yeah, on the back of a hot phone, it's just like, is that going to be an issue? But it'll probably be fine. Like, just thinking, because, you know, I'm making dice out of it, and those are, like, held a whole bunch anyways. So, you know, compared, it should probably be okay. I don't know why it wouldn't be. Because my dice work just fine. But it does make me sad, because I was trying to figure out, maybe I'll try Googling best resin for coasters or something, because I would like to make coasters. I wonder what other people are using to make coasters, or if they're just using that and saying that it's only for, like, cool drinks or something. I don't know. I just don't want to make... I don't want to make things that aren't actually going to be useful. I like making things that are useful to people. Or not necessarily even, like, specifically useful, but are, like, usable by people. Like, that's part of the reason I enjoy dice. I enjoy making jewelry, too, but, like, I like collecting things that I'm also going to use. I mentioned this before, that's why I collect teacups. It's because they're pretty and I can get, you know, different pretty ones, but also I can use them. You know, I can have people over for tea and we can use teacups and stuff, which is always fun. So I enjoy making dice because there's something that, you know, I can make pretty, but also people can use them for something. They have a purpose. Where was I going with this? Oh, so if I was going to make coasters, you know, I'd want them to actually be usable as coasters. I wouldn't want them to just be, I don't know, pretty little discs. I want them to actually be coasters. So, I want them to be functional if I'm going to make them. A little bit more teal. A little bit of yellow. And then I've got one more side after this. I don't know. I might have to do some more tests, though. I might have to do some more tests and see. Maybe I didn't get it mixed perfectly or something like that, because the liquid diamonds you mix by weight instead of volume. So maybe my scale isn't completely accurate or something. I need to get some more yellow. Okay. Yep, that's all that. Alright, one more die. I'm still not sure about these colors. Wash these off again. I just want to make sure I don't end up with too much paint stuck in the bristles. So we'll clean those off in between. Oh. Drink a little bit more tea. Do I want to put glow in the dark? Do I want to put glow in the dark paint in here? I think these need to dry a little bit more, so if I do, I'll do those later. If I remember. If I remember, I'll do glow in the dark. Alright. One more dye. Get a glob of that and a glob of that. Alright. Let's see, what else should I talk about? I like how I was talking about earlier, about how I can talk nonstop about nothing. Now I'm just like, what are words? Are words a thing that should be coming out of my mouth? I don't know. How does this whole talking thing work? I think I'm just getting a little bit tired. I mean, it takes a certain amount of energy to stream too. I don't know if you ran into that when you were streaming earlier, Jen. But it does take like a certain amount of energy to try and keep things going. To be fair, I guess the way you were streaming was slightly different. It's maybe a little bit more collaborative, sort of. But I don't know if that's something that hit you as well. It's just like, oh yes, I must pay attention to things. There's a certain amount of like self-awareness, I think, that comes with it too. Of just like trying to pay attention to what you are doing. I don't want to say like self-conscious, but it's like, I guess it is self-conscious. Not like in a, I have to use my brain while being perceived. Exactly. Yeah. You can't really turn your brain off. I think that's what it is. Like if I was doing this just by myself, I'd probably have like a video on or something. I would have my brain so far off. My brain would be off. So awful doing this. But I kind of have to have my brain on while I'm streaming. Just so that I can make sure everything's still running. But then when I don't get perceived, I don't use my brain enough, I do not win here. Yeah. I mean, I can't argue with that. I'm not saying that you don't use your brain enough, I'm saying I don't use my brain enough. Like I said, my brain would be so off if I was not streaming. There's a fine balance, but I think that's, kind of what I was saying though about, like, it is kind of tiring after a certain amount of time, just because it's kind of like you're always on. So, after 3 hours, it's just like, I could really go for some food and a nap now. But we are almost done too. I'm just gonna finish up this last dye, and then we'll probably head out for the night. And it has been 3 hours. It's been a little bit of time. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know. Yeah, I think that's really all it is. I'm like, I don't know what it is about streaming that does actually take energy. Because, like, I could sit here for 3 hours and work on this. It's fine. I mean, besides just talking a lot. But I think it really is just I have to have my brain on. I have to actually, like, think about things. I'm thinking about, I need to, try to be somewhat entertaining, but also make sure things are running smoothly. I need to, like, be conscious of what I'm doing and saying, because I am, saying it to other people. I don't know, it takes some brain power. No, I'm not saying that I have any brain power to begin with, but yeah. Let's not go there. Alright, almost done here. Need a little bit more teal. Oops, not that much teal. Too much teal. Alright, let's get some more yellow in here. I hear a kitty cat. I think there's a kitty cat that wants to come over and say hello. Oh, no. Oh, there's a kitty cat that's passed out in a box next to me. And another kitty cat that's trying to get over here now. Just a second, buddy. Kitty. Hello. Okay, we'll move that down for a moment. We'll get our light will be all funky. But you can come, yeah, you can come stand in the light. Try not to get paint on you. That's not good for you. Hello. You here to help? Oops, I stuck my finger in that. You here to help, buddy? Fitz is here to help. Hello, I'm almost done, buddy. I got one more side. The alchemist's assistant. Yeah. I like that. I'm gonna use that. I put way too much teal paint in here. It's way too full. Alright. Let's get everything cleaned up and let's look at those. Put my thingy back up so it's not quite so strikingly bright on one side. Is that totally the napkin that I had with my sandwich earlier? Maybe. Oops, actually, let's put this back in here. Yeah, I have a habit of I'll put like a sandwich on a paper towel or something and bring it into my office, and then that paper towel just becomes like something that gets used to wipe paint on or something. All right. Get these out of the way. That's not where that goes. Okay. So they're still a little bit damp. Not damp. Yeah, I guess damp works. Still not quite. I feel like my camera has worse quality when I'm when I'm in my office as opposed to the craft room. I don't know why. But there's those. There's those. The teal and the yellow. These are like party D6s. That's fun. That's fun. Still not sure on them. All right, sweet. So let's see. Let me just go through what all we got done. Just as kind of a wrap up. Okay, cool. We did our rainbow dice. Did those in a nice pearlescent white. We did our blue ones, blue and black with silver. They have a little bit of silver foil in there too. And then we did our Mardi Gras ones. That's what I'm calling them anyways. That have like all of the glitter. They're like a deep purple on the other side. They have all the glitter. Did those in a gold. I like these so much better now that they're inked. When they weren't inked, I was just like, I don't know. And now that they're inked, I'm just like, okay, yeah. That makes sense now. Makes sense now. Did a set of Rainbow Fate dice, which I may or may not go back and ink the pluses and minuses with glow-in-the-dark paint. I'm not sure yet. But they're nice and colorful. And then we just finished some pink D6s with some teal and some yellow pips on those. So I think that's pretty good for tonight. I'm glad that these are all done now. I have a couple more sets that are almost ready to get inked, but this is good. I'm glad that I have something now that's ready for the next restock. So thank you everybody that came and hung out tonight while I got this stuff done. It's always nice hanging out. I hope everybody has a good rest of the evening. I do stream every Wednesday and Saturday night, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I do plan to work on pouring resin on the Saturday. I think we're going to try making some phone grips, so we'll see how that goes. If anybody ever if anybody has any ideas for things that I should try in making those foam grips, shoot me a message, or come give me ideas on the Discord. It's always appreciated. But anyways, everybody have a good night, and hopefully I will see y'all later. Bye!